Greetings and welcome to my dear Leah. This is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. Welcome to the channel. If you are new, please subscribe if you like or dislike to your liking. I do respect your honesty, and this is going to be a very fixed reading, a singularity reading based on the timeless and spaceless sort of locale of a mode of karma that you may be dealing with in terms of the month of January. The fifth house is open, and this has to do with creativity, romance, love, as well as gestures through the inner child as well, the externalized inner child as it moves and progresses towards dedication and movement to the other. Okay? Please take only what you will. This is guidance, and it does not have to resonate with you. Sometimes the doors are open in terms of the fifth house to let loose in a very jovial way and find a way to release modes of ego. Remember that karma is actually action, actualized, as opposed to anything that is um, merely polar. Okay, it doesn't have to be black or white karma. It is essentially neutral in its nature. It's a mode of action. Please take only what you will. Thank you very much. Note that my readings are for the light. I shall begin, excuse me, excuse me, using this deck. It's from 1890. And we'll go ahead and get started. Already, some cards wanted to show up, and perhaps there is some sort of context that has to do with the reception of truth, the reception, you receiving essentially some mode of communication that is based on harmonics with your reality. Okay, already we have three major arcana here, eliciting um, a cycle that is doubling up of your effort. Something about it means that you're halfway there, okay? Halfway in terms of what you're trying to build, in terms of what is deeply desired. You're halfway there. And there's something about you that requires a revamping, a restart by making a path to the past, something that you feel directly connected with on the level of nurture, okay, through the Great Mother, some kind of connection that you may secretly fear, but also understand that the externalization of this connection in a 10th house way away of the moon in Capricorn is very strong here. That has to do with you situating yourself with intensified polarities, intensified ways of seeing positive or negative in situations, and being loyal to such trepidation, loyal to the fear that it triggers, loyal to something about you situating to instincts of survivability, also instincts that are tied directly to your natural inclination for change and newness. But this change and newness is being sought out in the past in some sort of way. There is a new beginning that is based upon a more intuitive, emotional responsibility that is based on your creation that has a lot of potential to move forward. But there is also the potential that you still need to learn a bit more about the very intensified polarities, as I mentioned before, that have to do with your inherent loyalties to the past, and perhaps your loyalties to mother figures or to behaving in a motherly way. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have to be a mother, but there are certain instinctual inclinations here that have to do with intensified polarities through other people that you may feel loyal to in the past. Okay, meaning that there could be a restart here, but you could be dealing with someone who is actively tense, who is actively causing friction, or perhaps cannot cooperate in some sort of way. It's something that both of you may be trying to root in terms of your core desires, trying to bring about a system of change that has to do with transformation of things old, transformation of fears into the knowingness of Neptune. There's a dream here, a dreamer that is actually doing this, and there's also a possibility for, as you move to the past, a sense of restlessness. As you move into the future, a sense of alchemy as well as transformation in terms of your ideas, in terms of how these philosophies are tied directly to the ninth as well as the fourth houses. Um, mm, sort of like the difference between being five houses. Okay, so there's something about you moving forward that has to do with creative impulses directly linked to situating yourself and being very firm in the way you philosophize or the way you convert modes of love, especially self-love, in order to stand by your truth. The truth here is something that you are seeking, but it is being brought to you in some sort of way also through people who have Jupiterian complexion. Once again, in terms of what's going on in the mind, the moon is heavily influencing you, and there is a dual loyalty here that has to do with the energy of Cancer, okay, as well. That's the fourth house, as well the 12th house, and situating yourself once again through the polarities and the extremities of intensified emotions, okay? Meaning that you are being influenced by your emotions, and these emotions are essentially fused with either a new beginning into the future or a new beginning into the past. It seems to me that you are traveling between both of these in order to find the sort of truth that you are seeking for, the sort of communication, excuse me, that you're seeking for. But this communication is coming from the ability to truly sort of understand the dream world. Anything that has to do with Pisces or Neptune will be strong, as well as Capricorn, so the movement from the 10th to the 12th house. There's an element here of independence that is very strong, that you may be afraid of on a very deep level. It has to do with essentially transformation, death cycles, as well as hard work in order to transcend these cycles. Then the moon becomes, in essence, there will be a type of reversal for the moon, meaning that you wouldn't feel as disparate or sad, or there's some sort of return here also of an emotional connection that tethers the inner child to the external mother, okay? And this is causing a sense of restlessness that may be alleviated by surrendering a cycle, by ending a cycle and becoming something of your own, looking for the change and essentially becoming the chariot. So it moves from the moon to the chariot, excuse me, the difference between being seven. So I think there's something about you that is looking and projecting into the future and into the past simultaneously. As this occurs, there's a sense of calm and transformation, as well as deep emotional understanding, empathetic understanding as you move forward into the future. In the past, there's a sense of restlessness, and this is a cycle that needs to be ended in order for you to find the burden released, okay? The advice is to essentially look for types of karma that you have already canceled out. There's something about you finding strength in this looking back. And even though there may be a bit of fear or solace or unknowing, the sort of communications that you will be finding in the ether as you look back, especially during dream states or sleeping states, will help you project into the future some very massive change that leads from the fourth to the ninth houses, okay? So that has to do with families, it has to do with where you belong, your emotional body, and then cleansing it through the energy of purification of bhakti, devotion, and also becoming a teacher of sorts through the ninth house, okay? That is what I'm seeing, short and sweet, and hopefully that is a reading that you can use for your advantage. Thank you very much. Bye.